Hi, everybody.
Hello there,
I'm Jerry.
and I'm Linda.
We're the Village's Newcomers, and we try to bring you topics of interest about the villages and also about senior citizens, getting old, various odds and ends. Today, we've got a topic that I came across yesterday. I was reading on Facebook an article in a Villages group that's on there, and I thought you'd like us to share it with you. Before I get started, though, I want to tell everybody we have a new address. If you mail us a letter, you can send it to Villages Newcomers, Post Office Box 888, Fruitland Park, Florida 34731. And today I was reading the Villages Talk. It's a group I think it's a closed group on Facebook, and there was a letter, and I thought, man, what a topic for conversation, and it would be so helpful to you folks that are back in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Indiana, wherever you're from, and you're thinking about moving down here. We didn't think about this, did we?
No.
And it's something that I think you should think about. Now, we are still self-contained here. It's been about, 12 days or something? It's been a while. We still do go out in our golf cart. We still take walks. We've been properly scolded by some of our viewers saying, why aren't you heeding the words of our president and staying isolated? But I think that is still isolation. As long as you're keeping that 10-foot distance between people, we enjoy getting out. I did go to the grocery store,
Yes.
and that's tough. People are so good here, and they try to keep their distance, but the aisles sometimes are small. When you're checking out, you're in closer proximity than you like, and it's uncomfortable.
Well, you were even thinking about the different places that you touch in the grocery store. When you went to get the butter, he didn't want to hold the handle, so he reached up the very top. So you're kind of concentrating on where you're putting your hands now.
Door handles. That's horrible.
Yes.
And then I got back in the car after going to the grocery, but I was really mindful in there, trying to do it right.
Right.
But I got in the car and we didn't have any hand sanitizer. We don't have any.
No, we don't have it.
Every time I've looked for it, we can't find it.
No.
So we wash really good, but I'm in the car. So then when I got home, I thought, what did I touch? Okay, I touched the door handle when I got in. I touched the seat belt when I did that. I touched the steering wheel,
You touched the button to turn on the car.
turned on the car, turned up the air conditioner, shifted into gear.
Yeah.
So many things that I've touched and have to be cleaned. So we want to be mindful of that, and we're trying. We're new to this. I mean,
Well, everybody is.
yeah, everybody's new to this. We've never seen anything like this in our entire lives. But today I want to share with you, we were so lucky when we moved down here. We basically have the house of our dreams. We love it.
Yes, we do.
But we did so many things wrong. And we want to help you do it right. Now, we just lucked out. We didn't do our due diligence like we should have, got lucky, and we're happy. And we want you to be the same way. We want you to be happy when you get here. Today, there was a letter on that website I told you about. And I'm going to read you part of it. She's going to read you part of it, and then we'll discuss it just a little bit. This post is not meant to offend anyone who smokes or does not mind the smell of cigarette smoke. We are new Courtyard Villa owners. We've been here 2 weeks. Tonight we were relaxing on our lanai when the smell of cigarette smoke was so overwhelming we had to go inside. We don't know which neighbor was smoking, but as you all know, the houses are so close together that it could have been any one of our neighbors. We're pretty devastated about this.
One of us has asthma and the other has terrible allergies. I just can't imagine spending a lot of time in that lanai with that strong smoke smell. We lasted about 30 minutes into a card game before we were already struggling. We went back out 2 hours later and the person was still smoking. Has this happened to anyone else? How did you cope? How could we have prevented this? We would love to hear everyone's thoughts.
And so people start pitching in. And when you have a thread like this, sometimes the comments are so funny and so good. But in this case, my heart goes out to these people.
Mine too.
You know, on one side of us, we have a person that's here very seldom, maybe a grand total of 3 months a year.
Yes.
In the back, we have lovely neighbors, wonderful people, and we don't see them.
No.
I mean, they have a barrier between us. So right now we're in the lanai looking out toward them, and we can't even see their house, really.
No.
So it's nice. But today I thought, why don't I show you guys some of the homes around here and what their backyards back up to? Because I think when you move down here, when you decide to move down here, and you're shopping for homes, this should be one of the very most important things that you do, is find one that you're comfortable with, because otherwise, every time you sit on your lanai, you're going to have feelings of resentment or anger,
Anxiety.
Yeah. Maybe the guy is smoking a cigar next door and he's got a screen lanai, you have a screen lanai. Maybe the people out here play music all day long.
Yeah.
You know, now music's a whole nother issue, because music carries. You know, it will carry. So even if you had a nice lanai with a nice view, you still could have homes close enough that disturb each other with music. But luckily, the people down here are very mindful of that.
Right.
So today what I did was go out with the camera and film maybe 6 or 7 backyard situations to kind of show you what we're talking about. So let's go on that ride and then we'll talk when we're done. This is an exterior view of the back of our home. There's the lanai. Our lanai is glassed. It has of course, the double pane weatherproof glass. And we do have a climate controlled system in there. We have a Mitsubishi, they call it a mini split, which controls the climate there. This is a large part of the reason why we purchased this home. You can see as you look down, homes in the villages are on very strict setbacks, and these homes all line up just perfectly all the way down through there. And they all look out this way. Well, this is what we see. Now, we've been blessed with very good neighbors. There we can see some windows over that way, but never an issue. Here we have our closest neighbor right behind these trees. That's actually a concrete wall with a bird cage and a large pool. So we don't have any problems with privacy in the backyard. As you look down, the neighbor here next door has a screened lanai, and he also would have a nice private view looking straight out his lanai. Now here's a situation where 2 homes back up to each other, but again in this case, this one backs to a pool. So you have the nice visual of the back wall of the pool, no privacy issues whatsoever. And in the case of this home, they have some greenery planted to even add to the privacy. Now that one is made with the high performance glass. That's an enclosed lanai, and it's very safe, very quiet. But if it was a screen lanai, I think they would still have a really nice element of privacy there. We're going to look at a little different situation now. This home is built with a preserve view. Now, a preserve is basically a nature area and will be undeveloped. You won't have to look at anybody's home. And quite often these homes will have a pool. If not a pool, then certainly a nice lanai to take advantage of the view. But in this case, you can see there's a fence that separates the home from the preserve. And if you look, a block wall, and it's quite tall. It's more than 6 feet tall. And that would eliminate your alligators and such from coming up into your yard. So this is the backyard. And here would be the view. Very nice. Lots of wildlife there. You'd see eagles. There are actually wild pigs in there. Bobcats are said to roam. An occasional coyote. It's a really nice view. We talked to some folks recently that indicated to us that a view like this would typically add maybe $200,000 to the price of a home. And here you can see a back view of the lanai and the home. Here's another home in our neighborhood. And you can see this situation. This is their lanai. It's a screen lanai. The dining area on it, and they will look out, and this is their view directly behind. So again, pretty private with that concrete wall. No plantings, but in this case, the folks with the lanai behind me have their own plantings to provide some privacy for them. Turning around, you can see that this homeowner has a nice privacy barrier between him and this lanai. So without that, you would have two lanais looking directly at each other. This one's screen, that one is glass. And here's a view from that lanai looking out. These homes are in close proximity to each other. That is the side yard. It looks to be about 6 or 7 feet for each home. But as you see, this house over here looks out at nothing but a wall. That's one way the villages are planned to eliminate the feeling of being too close to each other. No windows looking straight in and out in this case. And here's another potential situation that we haven't talked about yet. This is a home with a courtyard wall behind it. And here you see the lanai and the wall. Now for this home, there are no other fences here that would allow you to enclose the backyard. On the other side, for the courtyard villas there, they would definitely have a side wall where you could have a pet or a little more privacy. But here you can see it's just a blank wall. No need for privacy plantings, but you could. Now let's walk behind this home for another look. A little more side yard space in this home. Beautiful plantings. And you can see the lanai. This one is screened. Nicely landscaped. Small plantings that you can look over the top of, but the neighbor back here has larger plantings. You can see there is some open space, so there is a visual from one house to the other. And now we're up on the patio. You can see they have a patio on this side of the home. And that home is well protected with plantings for privacy. That would be no issue here. I have it on good authority that these folks here are going to glass in their lanai and put a hot tub on this slab. Now that would be really nice. I can see they're experimenting with paint colors too. As you look down, you can see the next door neighbor has a screen lanai, but the neighbor across really has that lanai protected with plants for privacy. On this side of the home, you can see very few windows on the neighbor, so he doesn't have to look over here. Now, we've had permission from all the homeowners that we've intruded on so far to show you their lanais and backyards. Here's a courtyard villa. I don't have permission, so I'm just going to shoot this from the street. But you can see they will have a fence around the entire villa in the backyard. That white fence and then the block fence like you saw earlier. That allows for a lot of privacy. Yards aren't very big. Now, these folks have opted to plant sod. Some folks go all stone to eliminate some of the upkeep.
So that's just a look at some of the houses around our neighborhood.
Yeah, people were so nice to let me intrude. Of course, I didn't do any face-to-face contacts, didn't get up close, but just walked in their yards with their permission and did that. And I hope it gave you an idea of some things to look for. What do you think they should look for?
A little bit of distance or barriers. What kind of barrier there is. And if it's screened in or if it's glassed in lanai, that's always something to look for.
See, when you come to the villages, you're not buying an estate. You're buying a postage stamp for the most part. Now, some folks pay extra, as that home, the one home you saw, for the beautiful view and the bigger lot. We didn't. And like I said, we were able to achieve what we wanted to. And you can too, if you take it slow, deliberate, and have some pretty firm idea of what you're looking for, and you go looking for it.
And good landscapers to help you plant the trees and bushes where you need
Absolutely.
them.
Right. Good landscaping is important. And but I think you'll find most of us have really nice neighbors here.
Right.
You know, when we came here, we didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And what we found is they are retired people, just like us, that want the same things we want. They want a nice, happy, active retirement. And we're all working together to do that down here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, will you please hit that like button and subscribe, that little bell, and you'll be notified about all of our future videos when they come up.
Until next time.
We'll see you when you get here.